I'm Harry from Navardi Tune, and today we're going to show you how to install the BAF Motorsport K-Brace on the 135. So BAF Motorsport K-Brace is designed to be installed pretty easily. There's a few things we need to do. We do need to remove the boot trimming a little bit and cut a little bit to make it look nice and flush, but it does use the OEM mount points, which means no cutting, no drilling, no welding, no nothing. It is as simple as remove the carpet, bolt it in, and go send it. So I received the BAF K-Brace from the UK to Australia. It was packaged pretty well. I've started to open it. So, just like you, I'm equally as excited to see what's inside here. So, let's try and open up the package, shall we? I was actually surprised just how light this whole package is. I was sort of concerned, you know, because at the moment we're sort of in a bit of a drag prep mode where we're trying to make sure that the car's, you know, going to be as feasibly as light as we want with weight reduction on the car. We want it to be pretty standard, but I was worried about adding weight, right? And I didn't really want to be uninstalling and installing this all the time. I'd rather just sort of keep it in the car, but it's surprisingly very light and pretty well packed. Look, how good is this? No damages. It was shipped with DHL, the legendary postal service. We've got a installation kit by the looks of it, and then we've got the Kbrace. So I'll just go ahead and we'll carefully try and cut the tape and the bubble wrap. Cool, did not scratch that. And looks like we didn't scratch this one either. Sweet. Okay. We've got it out of the packaging. Let's open up our little install kit and we'll see what they have given us. Okay, so we've got our installation kit here. As you can see, we've got 4 little brackets, we've got stickers and some bolts and washers and nuts, it seems. So let's go ahead and get this installed on the 135. All right, so once you've removed the plastic cover from this tie down point, we're simply gonna grab a T40 Torx Allen so we can undo it. Now the brace is going to utilize one of these brackets, so you will lose a tie down point, but let's be real, if you're installing this brace, are you really carrying stuff in your boot? So for those wondering the position of this, the bolt that we're going to tap into is actually just under the curve, where this curved part of the trimming becomes nice and flat with the rest of this panel. The bolt is right there, and it's actually like it's right here on the end of that little curve, and you can see it just in there. So I'm gonna obviously trim this up to be a little bit better so it's nice and neat, and then we're gonna utilize that mounting point and that mounting point, and that's it, done. All right, so as you can see, we've made our little square hole. I'm gonna tidy this up a little bit with a sanding Dremel just to try and smooth it out and straighten it up. You could also use a cutting wheel on a Dremel to get it. So I've made a nice little square. I did go into this angle here a little bit just to give me a bit more clearance, but how you cut this really comes up to you and fitment. This is about the size we need for the bracket, and then we might just need to cut just a little bit more up top just to get me a bit more clearance, but we'll undo this. It's a T45. Unscrew that. We'll put the BAF bracket on down here, and then we put the Kbrace in, and then we do the same on the other side. The bracket with the adjustable bolt hole with the smaller bolt they provide in the kit would go in here, and it screws in there. I found that the bolt's not long enough if you were to use a washer, but I also found that it doesn't need a washer to align with the Kbrace. So we'll screw that in there like that, and then we'll tighten that up once we've got our measurements and where they're supposed to go. The top one, we use a different bolt. The bolt in the kit is too short, so I've replaced it with a longer bolt, because you need to put washers behind it to get the bracket to sit at the right sort of point. I think honestly you should just provide a correct bracket rather than just using washers, and also at least the correct bolts, because the bolt they expect you to use is too short, and reusing the OEM bolt is also too short, so I had to go to the hardware store and actually get a longer bolt to work with the washers that they included. So the bolt I ended up getting was a 40mm long M10 by 1.5 bolt. It does look like you could get away with a 30mm, as it's still longer than this, and this only threaded in a few threads. This is the OEM bolt, if you can't see it, so I get the light on it. This is the OEM bolt. It really only needed to be about another 10 mil longer, so a 30 mil would have been enough, but I went and got a 40. The 40 does screw in all the way. It also gives me room to add another washer in the behind here if I need it. Alright, so I've ended up putting 3 of the washers, which is basically all the washers they've included. Not sure why this one's cut, but anyway. And that'll give me the right space, because when I put it in and measured it all up, it was slightly off and wouldn't align with the holes. So, and the bracket with the adjustable hole does not suit the 10 mil bolt used at the top, because the one down the bottom is not a 10 mil, it's actually like, I think it's 8 mil. So the brackets are specific to top and bottom. You won't be able to go, oh well, why don't I just put it up here, because it won't fit. To get the brace in the car, it's a little bit painful, but I undid this bracket so I could slide the bar in through this little hole in the boot lining I've made. I don't really know what I did there, but I must have bumped it with the Dremel. That's right, it'll be hidden by the seat, so I'm not too concerned. And then I managed to slide this bit in here. It does sort of rub a bit on the boot lining a bit. And then this side, I basically just fed this side in first before I put the other side in, just to try and get it in place. So it's a little finicky, but once you get it in, you'll be able to then do it up. So you want to align the holes, these brackets, with this first. Then basically drop the bracket down, tighten everything up on these brackets, and then feed these up into the bracket and then put the bolt through. Yeah, so I've just lined these up. The brackets are not tight, they are loose. But this bottom one, it doesn't even go through. I had to force this down. Like, if I sit this flat, look at that, look where that bolt hole is. Right, and I can get one side through, but I can't get the other side through because obviously the bracket's then twisted to fit. So it needs to go down. Like, I can force it down with a fair bit of flex, but I shouldn't have to be doing that. On this side, this one doesn't appear to be too bad. It is off a smidge, but it could be connected up pretty easily. So it's not too bad on this side. I'm not sure why one side is off than the other. It's a bit strange. As you can see here, I've just put the bolts in the bottom on both sides. And we're all in. But on the top, as you can see, look at that bar on this side. This is the passenger side on a right-hand drive car. Right? It's not even remotely close to lining up. Look at the difference of that bar. Now I had a look at that on a level. It's 1 degree off being straight. This side is pretty straight. It's pretty much bang on. And the hole, as you can see, looks like it would line up. I could flex that into place very easily. So I don't think the 1 degree off is really gonna cause it to be out by that much, but I'll see if I can flex it into place, but it's just a bit trivial that would have to happen. Maybe it was bent in shipping to me, I'm not sure. DHL is usually pretty good. It was packed fairly okay. It looks pretty straight, so I don't know what the go is there, but that's definitely something that needs to be looked at. This is the side that doesn't need too much flexing to go in, so as you can see the bolt doesn't go in. Now, if I can do this with the GoPro, flex this part down enough, it will slide all the way through, like that. Far out. This does not want to flex. Okay, so I've got it in now. Just a matter of just tightening some of this up, but it's all tightened up now. I've tightened it up so that the end of the bolt is just sticking out over the nut, because that felt pretty tight. There's no torque spec that they provided, but you don't want to go too tight, and you don't want to crush this bracket on the pole, because the pole itself is hollow, so you will crush it. Ridiculous amount of effort to try and get that in, but it's on now. Aside from that though, as you can see on this side, we're all in. We're all in nice. So now I'll tidy it up and I'll show you what it looks like with everything put away. As you can see, we've now got it installed. It's fit in pretty nicely. The parcel shelf, under tray, boot, cargo, floor thing, whatever you want to call it, fits in really well under here. You can still get child seat latches in too, if you happen to also have child seats like I do. So it's not too bad overall. The flexing problem was a bit annoying, but I mean overall it has fit, and as you can see, this is the correct way to do it. It does not install the other way around. Overall, like, it fits, it looks pretty good. This is what it looks like here. So if you like the content, please like, subscribe and give us a follow. There is more car content coming for the 135. and hopefully we can see you all in the future.